We've heard this gospel passage for the 13th Sunday of the year. We've heard it many times. It's a double healing. A man comes to Jesus, please come with me and heal my kid. And on the way, another woman comes to Jesus and gets healed. And then we get to the final story and the little girl is healed. We've heard it. But the problem is, have we heard it in our hearts? Let me explain. We got to put this thing in our context. We got to make it real for us today. So imagine if today, right now, you heard word that somewhere in central Wisconsin there was a miracle worker who is on the scene, and every person he touches gets better. People can walk who couldn't walk before. People are cured of cancer. People are free from pain, free from suffering. People who've been living with affliction and disease. People who have been in anguish. He touches them and they get better. Now you let that settle in for a moment, because I don't know about you, but I would be packing busloads of people to get down there and to line them up with the thousands of people who'd be there already to say to the miracle worker, please just touch him. Please just pray for him. And that would be right, because we've all been there, where we know loved ones, people we care about, people who we hate to see suffering. It breaks our heart. And many of us have carried crosses of our own anguish, the need for healing, the need to be free of pain. See, this ache to be healed, this longing to have our life put back in order. And I'm talking about this body, mind, heart, and soul. Sometimes it's physical healing. Sometimes it's intellectual anguish. Sometimes it's emotional pain in a relationship. Sometimes it's spiritual suffering. Whatever it is, there are times when if we knew that Jesus was on the scene, we would be there and we would be right. Because God made us to be fully alive. So note this, in every encounter with Jesus, people come broken, bleeding, wounded, and in need. People who are suffering, people who are struggling, they encounter Jesus and something gets better. The encounter with Jesus is a healing encounter. The connection with Jesus puts things back together in a person's life. It restores, it renews, it changes, it transforms. To be present to Jesus puts our lives back together. Now, it's from that framework, from that healing encounter, that we know in our hearts. It's not an intellectual exercise to read the gospel. It's to put ourselves in the gospel today. That longing to be healed has two takeaways for your consideration today. Here's the first. There are times when we are called to be just like Jairus, where it's up to us to bring in our prayer, our loved ones, to Jesus. Where we're the one asking on behalf of another, Lord, will you heal? Lord, will you touch? Lord, will you bless? This list of people that I got who could use a prayer today. You see, I just want to encourage that in your daily prayers, when we're all there taking our time with Jesus, and it doesn't have to be long, but wherever it is where you like to say your prayers, morning or night or somewhere through the course of the day, I'd recommend having a list. And I'd recommend putting down there the loved ones we know who could use a prayer, to remind us and to make sure that we get outside of ourselves, because that's what this is about. We can get caught in our own stuff, and sometimes we need to. But if ever we needed to rip the cover off of our reality, all we need to do is look around, and we know that the people in our life are carrying real crosses and deal with real suffering and have real struggle, and we need to pray for them. That we're called, like Jairus, to bring those prayer intentions forward and set them before the altar of God and say, will you heal? Please, please, Lord, make this better. People in my life could use your healing touch. People I know could use your grace. How critical it is that Jairus needed to go to Jesus on behalf of his little girl. How critical it is that we go to the Lord on behalf of those we love, those that we know, to offer in our prayers God's healing grace upon real people that we know are struggling. That's the first side. But here's the second. Sometimes we're called to be just like that woman. Sometimes we're called to be that person who, it's not just, by the way, physical healing. I hope you caught that. Isn't it interesting? 2,000 years ago, people could still spend all their money on health care and not get answers. That for all of the struggles that people had back then, they still got struggles today. And for all of the advancements, all of the amazing things medicine can do today, all of the techniques and the procedures and the skills and the understanding we have, there are still times, and I hear it all the time, Father, we tried everything. Father, we explored all the options. Father, I don't know how I'm going to pay these medical bills. Here's a woman who, she's still in pain. She's been doing it for a long time. She went to every resource she could think of. They took all of her money. She's got nothing left except this simple prayer. If I can just touch his clothing, if I can just get near to him. Think about the depth of faith. Think about the conviction that says, I just want to be near. I just want to get close to Jesus. What a great prayer for all of us. What a great prayer for whatever the stuff is. And we all got stuff. We all got crosses. And sometimes life is going great, and sometimes the bottom is falling out. But we all got stuff. And we have permission to come to the Lord and say, Lord, can you heal this? Can you bless this? Can you touch this? Because that's why he came into our world. He died on that cross, bled on that tree, offered his life to give life, and to give that life to the whole world. Folks, if the healing encounter with Jesus is an encounter that's available to all, then today we stand on that promise. And we, on behalf of those we love, bring those prayer requests to the Lord. And out of our own need to be whole, we come as well. Today I invite us to think about who are the people on that list. What are the needs in our heart? What's the stuff we're dealing with today? And to, like Jairus, like that woman, in faith, call upon the one who longs to heal our hearts, heal our bodies, heal our relationships, heal our lives. May we draw near with their faith, in their example, to the one who loves us and longs for us to be made whole. God bless you all.